Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Horrify. It's all about scary and spooky stories in horror, music, and crime. In this special video, I'm going to talk to you about Madame LaLaurie and the LaLaurie Mansion, one of the most haunted mansions here in the United States that is located in New Orleans, Louisiana. Alright, so the LaLaurie Mansion is super famous here in New Orleans. Lots of people like to take photos in front of this mysterious haunted house where apparently one of the most brutal women lived. So how did this become such a haunted house? Let's dive into the details. So, how did Madame LaLaurie turn her New Orleans mansion into a house of horrors? Inside her New Orleans mansion, Madame Delphine LaLaurie tortured and murdered untold numbers of enslaved people in the early 1830s. In 1834 at the mansion at 1140 Royal Street in the French Quarter of New Orleans, a fire broke out. The neighbors rushed out to help, offering to pour water on the flames and help the family evacuate. However, when they arrived, they noticed that Madame LaLaurie, the woman of the house, seemed to be alone. A mansion without slaves seemed shocking, and a group of locals took it upon themselves to search the LaLaurie Mansion. So what are the horrific details of Madame LaLaurie's crimes? The rumors have muddied the facts over the years, but there are a few details that have stood the test of time. Of course, being back then, such a long time ago, a lot of these stories were changed because people told it differently. But here's what we got. First, the group of locals found the slaves in the attic. Second, they had clearly been tortured. Uncorroborated reports from eyewitnesses claim that there were at least 7 slaves beaten, bruised, and bloodied to within an inch of their lives. Their eyes gouged out, skin flayed, and mouths filled with shit and then sewn shut. One particular disturbing report claimed that there was a woman whose bones had been broken and reset so that she resembled a crab, or someone said even a spider. And another woman was wrapped in human intestines. The witnesses also claimed that there were people with holes in their skulls and wooden spoons near them that would be used to stir their brains. There are other rumors that there are dead bodies in the attic as well, and their corpses mutilated beyond recognition, their organs not all intact or inside their bodies. Some say that different body parts were ripped off and put on other dead body parts. Fucking insane, right? Some say that there are only a handful of bodies, while others claim that there are over 100 victims. Either way, it cemented Madame LaLaurie's reputation as one of the most brutal women in history. However, Madame LaLaurie was not always sadistic. What Delphine LaLaurie was like before she turned her mansion into a house of horrors. She was born Marie Delphine McCarty in 1780 in New Orleans to an affluent white Creole family. Her family had moved from Ireland to then Spanish-controlled Louisiana a generation before her, and she was only the second generation to be born in the US. She married 3 times and had 5 children, whom she said to attend to lovingly. Her first husband was a Spaniard named Don Ramon de Lopez y Angulo a Caballero de la Royal de Carlos, it's a long name, a high-ranking Spanish officer. The pair had 1 child together, a daughter, before his untimely death in Havana when they were on the way to Madrid, Spain. 4 years after Don Ramon's death, Delphine remarried, this time to a Frenchman named Jean Blanc. Blanc was a banker, lawyer, and legislator, and was almost as affluent in the community as Delphine's family had been. Together they had 4 children, 3 daughters, and a son. After his death, Delphine married her 3rd and final husband, a much younger doctor named Leonard Louis Nicolas LaLaurie. He was not often present in her day-to-day life and mostly left his wife to her own devices. In 1831, Madame LaLaurie purchased a 3-story mansion at 1140 Royal Street in the French Quarter of New Orleans. As many society women did at the time, Madame LaLaurie kept slaves. Most of the city was shocked at how polite she was to them, showing them kindness in public. However, soon rumors began to spread that the politeness exhibited in public may have been an act. So what happened behind the closed doors inside the LaLaurie Mansion? Here's what we know. Though New Orleans had laws, unlike most of the southern states, that protected slaves from unusually cruel punishments, the conditions of the LaLaurie Mansion were far from adequate. There are rumors that she kept a 7-year-old cook chained to the stove starving. There are others that she was keeping secret slaves to her husband doctor to practice Haitian voodoo medicine on. There are other reports that her cruelty extended to her daughters, who she would then punish and whip if they tried to help the slaves in any way. If you've seen American Horror Story Season 3 Coven, Kathy Bates actually plays Madame LaLaurie, and she even beats the hell out of her daughters because they were sleeping with slaves. Here are 2 reports that were actually true. The first was a man was so scared of punishment that he threw himself out of a 3rd-story window, choosing to die rather than be subjected to Madame LaLaurie's torture. The 3rd-story window was then cemented shut and is still visible to this day. Another report concerned a 12-year-old girl slave named Leah. She did the same thing, jumping to her death from the 3rd-story window because she did not want to deal with Madame LaLaurie's torture and daily whippings. Witnesses saw LaLaurie burying the girl's corpse, and police were forced to fine her $300 and make her sell back her 9 slaves. Over time though, of course being back in this day, the police then forgot about it and decided to give her her 9 slaves back. After Leah's death, the locals began to doubt LaLaurie even more than they already were. So when the fire broke out, no one was surprised that her slaves were the last to be found. After the slaves were released from the burning building, a mob of almost 4,000 angry townspeople ransacked the home, smashing the windows and tearing down doors until almost nothing remained but the outside walls. So what became of Madame LaLaurie after her crimes were exposed? Though the house still stands on the corner of Royal Street, the whereabouts of Madame LaLaurie are still unknown. After the dust settled, the woman and her driver were missing, assumed to have fled to Paris, France. However, there was no word of her making it to Paris. Her daughter claimed that she received letters from her, but no one else saw these letters. The victims of Madame LaLaurie were buried on the property and are said to haunt the grounds to this day. Even after 2 centuries, locals refuse to call the LaLaurie Mansion by her name, referring to simply as the haunted house. In the late 1930s, an old cracked copper plate was found in the New Orleans St. Louis cemetery, bearing the name LaLaurie Madame Delphine McCarty, LaLaurie's maiden name. The inscription on the plaque in French claims that Madame LaLaurie died in Paris on December 7, 1842. However, the mystery remains alive as other records located in Paris claim that she died in 1849. Despite the plaque and the records, it was widely believed that while LaLaurie made it to Paris, she came back to New Orleans under a new name and continued her reign of terror. To this day, the body of Madame Mary Delphine LaLaurie has never been found. Back in 2007, actor Nicolas Cage purchased the LaLaurie Mansion to write a scary novel in. He said it was one of the best nights of his life. Unfortunately, after a few months, he decided to sell the house to a private owner. And to this day, no one knows who owns this house, and you're actually not allowed inside. So there's this clip I found on YouTube of a housekeeper that works at LaLaurie Mansion. Check it out.
There's cold spots, hot spots in the house. You smell old perfume.
Yeah.
Especially around the anniversary of the house when it caught a fire. That's when you really smell that old-timey perfume.
Pretty crazy how she smells these old school perfumes during the fire anniversary of the LaLaurie Mansion. According to some rumors and reports, the Conjuring creators are developing a LaLaurie Mansion series that's either going to be a movie or a TV show that will cover all things about the LaLaurie Mansion. As you know, in American Horror Story Season 3 Coven, Kathy Bates plays LaLaurie, and you can see a lot of these stories incorporated into the show. I hope you enjoyed this spooky tale about the LaLaurie Mansion, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more stories that will be posted soon. See you next time.